Well, and one of those big things too was when I was considering this is like always hear the saying time is money, and
Yeah.
that's false. But time is more valuable than money.
And that's the big push for 2026 is go get the thing that you've been talking about. Go on the trip that you wanted to go on. Go do the thing. Don't talk about it because we don't know if you're going to be able to do it, or
Yeah.
we don't know if the people that you want to do it with are going to be there.
Yep.
It puts everything into perspective of whenever you have money, it's easier to get more time.
You do you.
Try.
Do you. Whenever we're ready, we're recording.
We're live?
We're live. Here we go. The
Nice.
evolution of Erin.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so we're back with Erin after last week's debut.
Yeah.
And just as we were talking through the content last week, I thought it was interesting to talk about your progression because I think that a lot of people watching this probably relate to you when you first came in.
Right.
So we
Correct.
first met each other, and you were looking for a job. You had been out of the workforce. Your husband worked. You had 2 little kids, and you were really just trying to get back into the job market to, I don't want to say to make ends meet, but to make life a little bit easier.
Yeah.
And
Reluctantly.
yeah, so talk to us a little bit about kind of mindset coming in,
Yeah.
what things looked like. Obviously, you probably didn't realize you were going to get the financial overhaul or the whole
Yeah.
psychology of
My
how money
life
works.
is
And yeah, but
completely different.
so just talk about just coming in and what your
Mhm.
perspective was and what you thought we did or what you thought you would be doing just by joining the team.
Right. So I will start by saying I did not want to go back into the workforce. I was
Right.
pretty reluctant. I fought it a little while, but just after moving to Southwest Florida, um, it made sense. And my husband was like, "Hey, you need to go back to work." And I was like, "I don't want to." Because my
Mm.
youngest wasn't quite in a place to just be like, "Oh, you're going to kindergarten." My oldest was. So that,
Right.
like, made sense. You're going to kindergarten, but
Right.
now I have to put one in preschool, and I thought I had more years with her, so that looked exciting for you in the beginning, right? Coming back to work and being away from my girls like
Right.
you saw.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a little crazy.
Yes. So, it was my mindset around all of it was I knew I was coming to help, of course,
Right.
like help you run your practice. You didn't have anybody.
Right.
But also it was like I needed to make a paycheck.
Mhm.
I needed the financial security. I
Right.
needed the stability of this check is going to come in like every other week I was going to get paid.
Right.
And it was going to help ease the burden of just all of the things that come with raising a family, owning a home, all of those things. So, but my mindset was very scarce. I had a very fixed mindset on like, this is it. This is what I'm doing.
Right.
Um, and then it's shifted quite a bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is now 7 years ago.
Hmm.
So it was up at our other office. We had my old office, which I still have. And then you had like a little
Cubicle
cubicle
outside
outside
the
of my
door.
office.
Yep.
And that was our team.
Yep.
That was kind of how this thing started. I had some existing clients from when I had moved down,
Right.
but that was really where just everything kind of started. So it was
Hmm.
not a ton of, I won't say not a ton of stuff. There were a lot of clients, but there
Right.
wasn't the amount of moving pieces. There weren't a bunch of
Oh, no.
advisors on the
Right.
team
Right.
yet,
Right.
or really all of the ancillary stuff
So
outside of just doing
I've scaled
business.
with your business.
Correct.
Mindset and all has scaled with your
Yeah.
business.
But came in, you were looking for some part-time
Yep.
work. I don't even remember. I don't remember what your original deal was. I know it wasn't a lot.
I think I was like 9 to 3
Right.
and salary wise, gosh,
Yeah.
I want to say I made like 35,000 coming in.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
work every day or did you work
Yes.
okay, so you worked every day
Yeah.
from 9 to 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was like, because I had to go pick up kids from
Yeah.
preschool and school.
So that wasn't
So,
quite part-time. I mean, that was, like, more full-time than not.
yeah.
For whatever reason, I remember it being, like, less than that, but
Maybe it
maybe
was
that's just because we
2.
work a zillion hours
Yeah,
now.
I know.
So, came in kind of part-time, just were understanding the business, trying
Mhm.
to figure things out, and I think it was pretty quickly into it, we started to talk about, like, your personal situation.
Mhm.
So, wanted to understand, okay, like, what brought you back to work?
Right. Yep.
What does your family situation look like in terms of money? Going through, bringing you through the
Yeah.
process like a
Like a
client,
client. Yeah, absolutely.
because I'm a firm believer that if people are here, and especially if they're working closely with me, if they're on my team,
Mhm.
their house has to be in order,
Yeah.
because if it's not, they're not gonna be able to help people.
Right.
1, I just don't believe in being a hypocrite in what we do.
Yeah.
So people need to subscribe to
What it is that
what
we
it is
call,
that we
yeah.
do.
Yep.
And 2,
And I did that.
you
Yeah.
you did.
Yeah.
And 2, people just need to be in a good financial situation to
Mhm.
make recommendations to others.
Right.
So I never want our advisors to feel like they need to make the next sale, or feel
Mhm.
like they're pressured and have to do something for their own selfish benefit versus what's best for the client. So we take a deep dive with all of our team members to make sure that they're
Mhm.
kind of like doing pretty well,
Yeah. Yeah.
because it's not about them, it's about the clients, and then they do well as a byproduct of that. So we did a deep dive just into
Mhm.
what things looked like, and it
It was
wasn't,
surprising.
it was not pretty, I guess, day 1. So
It was whoa. You and it's like we have incredible software, so you can see
right,
visually see a snapshot of all of the financial decisions that you've made up until that point. Goes into a system and it basically it gives you red and green lights. Well, you did great here and here's where you need to focus.
right,
And I mean it's crazy because it's like we had checked the boxes, like, we had purchased a home, but had subscribed fully to the mindset of, like, everything must be, like, paid in cash. I must have 0 debt,
right.
and I remember, like, we got a boat, and it was like, I paid cash for that. I look back and I'm like, "What was I thinking?" It's like, it's great to have the cash and the money, and this is
Sure.
we can deep
Yeah.
dive into that later, but where I was at the beginning was, like, we had owned a home, so we had the debt of the home, but no other debt.
Right.
And but we had like $5,000 to our name that we had easy access to in the event that something happened
With 2 kids under 5.
with 2 kids under 5. So it's
Right.
like, whoa. And no, like if something happened to David, like what was I looking at? Like we didn't have anything in place, no life
Right.
insurance, no disability, like none of those things were covered in the event. But again, it's like looking at worst case scenarios and a lot of people don't want to do that.
Right.
And so it was like taking a look at it and being like, "Wow, okay,
Right.
we have some work to do."
Yeah, and selfishly, from the perspective of now you're my new
Mm,
employee, in the event that something happens to your spouse,
right.
like, now I
What does that
lost
look
my,
at? Yeah.
well, yeah, I lose my employee. So, how do we make sure that everybody's taken care of? And in the event that something happened to him, at that time, he was the primary
Yep.
breadwinner.
Yep.
We need to replace his income and figure out what happens to the girls. What do you
Mhm.
guys wanna make sure is taken care of?
Yeah.
Schools, houses, weddings,
Yeah.
all of this other stuff, and just things that may or may not have been brought up before, just
Mhm.
because you're just living life and being a young family
Yeah.
and growing and making money, but spending money. And that was all within the first couple months of coming
Yeah.
on board. I think pretty soon after, you went from kind of being reluctant to coming into work to, I I don't know when it was. It was definitely, I think it was less than a year, or maybe on your first year review,
Mhm.
we kind of pivoted from
Right.
part-time to you wanted to work
Mhm.
more hours.
Right.
And I said, "You can work more hours, but here is the deal."
Yes.
And what
I
did I
think
say?
at first it was like we had a conversation and then it was like on a piece of paper like
Yeah,
this is what I expect.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's like you're in or you're out.
Yep.
And that's really what was needed at that time,
Mhm.
was if you were going to be kind of all in the way that you said you wanted to be,
Right.
like, we were both in this thing 24/7.
Yeah.
And we ran with that for a
Mhm.
while, until we kinda, like, burned out, and then we added
Yes.
some new staff and added some junior advisors. So to, like, put things into perspective for people
Right.
that don't know, it was the 2 of us.
Mhm.
Since then, I think now we're at somewhere around, like, 30-ish, 25 to 30 junior advisors,
Mhm.
probably another 2 or 3 staff with another 1 or 2 on the way, and then some of our top advisors
Right.
have their own staff that we
Mhm.
utilize. So, it's
It's
gone
grown.
from the 2 of us to probably close to now 30 to 40 people that
Yeah.
we interact with on a daily or weekly basis. And one of the biggest things now that we're starting to talk about is, like, it's grown so much. How do we find efficiency? How do we find
Mhm.
scale? I want to talk a little bit about money because I do think it's important from the standpoint of you came in, you had $5,000
Yeah.
liquid in your guys' name. Fast forward to now, income wise,
Mhm.
drastically different. We don't have to talk about those
Yeah.
numbers,
Yeah.
but net worth wise, I think
Yeah. Gosh.
probably up thousands of percents in what has been saved, in the
Yeah.
value of assets that you've bought, in the liquidity that you have.
Mhm.
I mean, talk a little bit about kind of how your mindset changed and how in less than a decade you've been able to exponentially grow your assets.
I think too, like, yeah, I can't talk about that without saying, like, it was the environment I was in.
Sure.
1,000%. Like, they always say, "You are the people that you hang out with," and it was like, this is my environment. I was seeing clients come in, hearing their stories, seeing the strategies implemented, and just watching, just like it was like light bulbs kept going off, like,
Yeah.
"This makes so much more sense, like, this is what I need to do," and I joke with people now, and I'm like, "Listen, Mike is also my financial advisor, like, he has told me what to do, and he's never steered me wrong." I think there's only one time where I was like, "I don't wanna do that," and then I look back and I'm like, "I should have done that." But it's like all of the guidance that was given, that is the same guidance that we give to clients,
Right.
was implemented, and I think I was just at a state where it's like, what I had been doing is not working. I needed to shift,
Sure.
and it was like a lot of the mindset had to shift too because it was, being raised on welfare and saying getting told no, and like we
Yeah.
couldn't do certain things, and it's like I didn't want that for my girls.
Right.
Like it's just like I was like, I know that there has to be a switch. Like we're gonna work on it. And you didn't know like it was gonna be such a project.
No, but I knew pretty quickly, but no, I didn't know from day one, but it's been awesome to kind of see the growth and to grow
Mhm.
with you, and there are a lot of aspects that we've pushed each other.
Yeah.
So even though kind of day one, I was the mentor from the standpoint of money and
Mhm.
finance and everything that we do, there's a lot of things that have changed over time that I had not experienced that you had.
Yeah.
So during the time that we've been together, like I had my first child.
Mhm.
Like I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
navigating that was chaos.
yeah.
And your girls, I had watched them
Mhm.
grow up and seen kind of how you have done things and asked for advice and different
Yeah.
things like that. There's a lot of other things that have happened where just you have more experience kind of on this like health and fitness journey over the
Mhm.
last couple of years. Like that's something that you're passionate about and
Yeah.
something that you've really been focused on for your whole life. So getting into it and taking the right supplements and doing the right routine and
Mhm.
things like that have been really, really important to getting this thing kind of kickstarted. But then the motivation of just like on a daily basis of you checking in and being like,
Yeah.
"Hey, did you go to the gym today?"
Mhm.
Or like, "What was the workout today?"
Yeah.
Like things like that. Like
Yeah.
just like where you're not like prying, but you're like, "Did you get your ass up and go to the gym today?"
Yeah. Did you
So
do the work?
right, yeah. So all of that stuff like means a ton. And I think
Mhm.
those are the things that we bring to our team members now, and to some extent
Yeah.
our client in the ones that we talk to on a regular basis
Right.
is like, "Hey, are you doing the right stuff? Or are you
Yeah.
monitoring this stuff the right way? Have you done it?" A huge part of our success and our advisor success is when we meet with clients, it's very basic. We
Yeah.
get an understanding of where they're at. And then for the most part, we show them what we did with our money.
Yeah. Yep.
And I tell people over the last 15 years of being in the business, here is
What I did.
my money. Here's
Mhm.
what came in. Here's how I positioned it. And here's what it grew to.
Yeah.
Would that be a good or a bad outcome for you? And they're like, we like this.
Well, you're giving you it's always been a vote. Like
Right.
this is what you do. Is you take a quick look at what they've done,
Right.
and then you say, "Okay, where are the inefficiencies? Where can we tweak things?" And you give them a vote. It's never like, "You must do this," but it's like, "This is the direction." And because money is so emotional, people are like, "Oh, you did this with your money."
Right.
And like, and look what I did with it, and look what it has done since and how I've
Yeah.
used it. So I think all the time people like are like, "Oh, well, AI this and AI that." It's wonderful and it's going to help a lot with the
Yeah.
efficiencies in our
It's helping us a
practice.
ton. Yeah.
But it's like also that human point of contact is just like, we're here. Like, these are things that we did.
Right.
This machine didn't do that. Like, these are things we actually implemented in real life. You are
Right.
human. I am human.
Right.
So this is what we do.
Yeah. And I think that that's so important now because so many people look online. And
Yeah.
again, I mean, we're part of the problem or part of the solution, depending on
Solution.
yeah, depending on how you look at it. But it's so easy to just consume knowledge on your phone. So we
Yeah.
want to put good information out there. We want to help as many people as we can.
Mhm.
Obviously, in our practice, we can't help like thousands of
Right,
people
right, right,
a
right.
year, but our team has the capacity to help a ton. And for the right people, we do
Yeah,
still bring on clients. It's not a substantial amount. We
yeah.
probably bring on like 30 or
30.
40
Yep,
a year.
yep.
But in our world, that's a lot because we're helping 30 or so advisors. So maybe we impact 50 to 100 people in a year, indirectly and directly through our practice. But there is a ton of really good information that we can put out through here. We
Yeah.
can show through our advisors. And again, I think it's just understanding that day one when you come in, you could be at any
Mhm.
stage.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't matter if you have millions upon millions of dollars. We've brought on clients that have no money
Yep.
and had a ton of potential, and we've brought on clients that when we met
That
them,
was
they were
me.
worth tens or hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right, right.
So, the entry point is all over the place. It's just,
Yeah.
what are you looking to do? What are you looking to get educated on? And from the medical perspective, on our end, I try to treat it like a physician.
Mhm.
If you come in and tell me you don't feel good, and you give me all of the reasons why you don't feel good,
Mhm.
I could tell you what you could do to feel
Feel
better,
better. Yeah.
but you have to do it.
Yep.
So, if you tell me that
You learn
yeah,
early on too, like who is going to be like is gonna listen.
right, there are definitely people that are coachable and definitely
Yes.
people that are not coachable.
Yes. And you have to remember that. And that's like everything you walk into in life.
Right.
Like everything you come up against, are you going to learn from this? Are you going to continue in the pattern that you've created already? And it's going to keep going in the same direction.
Right.
So, coaching clients and knowing that,
Yeah,
okay, this one's going to really, that's, I think, with the scaling has come to where we're like, okay, this is a good fit for us.
for sure.
And maybe this one isn't such a good fit for us.
Yeah, I think it comes down to a lot of things. Coachability, respect.
Hmm.
Our clients really like and appreciate us. I'll
Yeah.
say more you guys. I take the heat when things go wrong. You guys get all the praise. But for the most part, like I hear on a regular basis a lot of you and your team talking to clients and laughing and having fun,
Hmm.
and I'm like, "That's so encouraging to know I was not part of a conversation and the client had a phenomenal experience."
Yeah, absolutely.
I can go in and do the nuts and bolts and the
Yep.
planning and all of that stuff, and we do laugh and joke around, but
Hmm.
typically when people talk to me, it's like the
This is what we're
hard-hitting
doing. Yep.
questions of, "Hey, I need to know the math behind this," or "Tell me why we're doing this," or whatever. When people call you, they're like, "Hey, it's my grandkid's birthday, like, send
Hmm.
them a couple $1,000 or
Yeah.
whatever it is, or
Yep.
let's buy them a gift." Like, you get the fun conversations,
Well,
I
that's
get, like
evolved too because it
oh, for sure, it
was,
is.
like, in the beginning, and I don't think I've ever had a problem talking to people.
No,
I think my confidence obviously had skyrocketed being
right,
in the business and knowing how the business runs, and even just like, this is what I did, and, like,
right,
it's got me to this point.
right.
But also, like, them calling and having conversations where it's like, it is a bit deeper. I'm not necessarily strategizing with them, but I'm talking through, like, "Okay, is this a good idea, or is there another option?" And,
Right.
like, we'll get the okay from Mike that this is good, but, like, this is the direction I think we should go in.
Yeah,
This is how I would
right.
handle this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So those conversations have scaled.
Yeah, and I think that that's a big part of the evolution of what you're doing now is as
Right.
we're kind of changing the practice and we're adding more people and we're kind of going into different types of
Planning.
planning
Yeah.
with our clients, you're more hands-on and doing far more of the planning than
Yeah.
the customer service side. So one of the big conversations that we had was going from day one of, I need
Mhm.
stability, I need a couple hours
Yeah.
of work, I need to get out of the house, but I need to make some money, to, all right, I'm all in. Now I want a high paying salaried
Yeah.
position, to now I have a good salary plus some
Mhm.
bonuses, to now it's, hey, I've made a
I'm
good amount of money.
responsible.
I've
My
made it.
ownership.
Yeah, I've made a
Mhm.
good amount of money, but now I want to stake in what we're doing.
Yeah.
How do I get a higher percentage of the revenue that we bring in?
Yeah.
And I'm willing to kind of give up some guaranteed component
Absolutely.
of that to have some skin in the game. And I think that is a total 180 of
Oh my
mindset shift
gosh.
and confidence and growth and everything else because
Obedience. It was obedience for me. Like, okay, where am I being called to right now?
yeah,
And it's like that was a big thing. I wrestled with it because I think you do. You get so set in your ways and comfortable. But I am, and I think maybe this is one of the things you could have left a bunch of stuff at the door when I first came in. But I think what you saw too was like I've always had a very growth mindset.
yeah,
Like I want to grow. And it's like my daughter has recently asked me multiple times, she says, "What are you afraid of?" And every time it's like without hesitation, I'm like, I'm afraid of not becoming the person I was created to be, to impact the lives I was created to touch. Like my story may resonate with some people, and it may not, but
sure.
I have like, nobody is me. Nobody can do what I do
Right.
and talk to the people that I talk to and coach them the way that I can coach them. Is a team atmosphere so much better for that? Absolutely, which is why I love being a part of this team.
Right.
But it's like you have to, like the shift was more of like, okay, I'm being called to this. Am I going to be obedient to it and in alignment with where I know that I'm being called
Yeah.
and like who I am becoming in this. And that was hard, like I wrestled with
I know.
it
Yeah.
for a good while cuz I'm like, "Oh my goodness," and it's just getting back into the like I was created to do more and impact more, and what that looks like, I can determine
Yeah.
the
And it's just
ownership part.
it's a mental change of just pure growth from that standpoint. And again, it's not a long period of time in the scope of our lives, less
Right,
than 10
right.
years, to go from where you were just trying to be a contributor
Mhm.
to realistically in the next couple years being a substantial earner, if not the predominant earner.
Yeah.
And I think it's just really, really cool that that can happen where
Mhm.
we now are saying, okay, perfect. We need to fill your role. So, like, what you did was
Yeah.
valuable. We need
Yeah.
somebody to do
Yep.
it. It's just not you. So now we need to go out and we need
Mhm.
to hire a new administrative lead,
Yep.
administrative lead. And then we have the other team members and then we have junior
Mhm.
advisors. And there is just so much more potential and so much growth within the firm. But again, it takes the person
Yeah.
to say,
I'm
I'm
ready.
ready.
Mhm.
And that's a big part of what takes our advisors to the next level. It's what
Mhm.
takes our clients to the next level. It's that buy-in, it's that commitment to say, like, I'm just gonna do
Yeah.
this.
Yep.
It's not gonna be perfect. Like, I'm sure the conversations that
There's
we had
growing. There'll be
in
growing.
year one where there were struggles, like, we're gonna have the same
Yep.
conversations now. But
Yep.
now there's just so much more kind of information and confidence behind what you're doing
Yeah.
that there'll be different kind of growth conversations around, like, "Hey, just don't be a baby, go do it." Like,
Yeah.
you know what to do. Like, at the
Yeah.
beginning, you had no clue what to do.
Absolutely.
Now it's just like, "Hey,
You just gotta do it.
do you
You
wanna
gotta
work
take
today or do you
action.
not wanna work today?"
Yeah. Yep.
So
Well, and one of those big things too was when I was considering this is like the time and flexibility, and you always hear the saying, "Time is money," and
yeah,
that's just like that's false. Like if you want to trade your time for dollars, that's accurate,
yeah,
but time is more valuable than money, and so I think it was a shift there.
yeah,
Like in the beginning, it was very like I needed the
yeah,
money, like I was trading my time
yeah,
for that check, for that stability, for the security. And now it's like, I need to put like time in perspective. Like you see things
mhm,
happen to people, you just like time becomes invaluable. Like
yeah,
you can always go earn more money. You cannot get time back.
no.
Never.
Oh, and you've seen it just throughout the last decade of being in this practice. Like, we've gone through a ton of
Mhm.
things with clients. We've experienced loss,
Absolutely.
and it puts everything into perspective of whenever you have money, it's easier
Mhm.
to get more time.
Yep.
So I don't wanna say sacrifice money, but it's easier to say, "Let's find efficiencies," or "Let's figure out ways to earn the same amount of
Mhm.
money in a smarter manner and get some of our time back."
I think it's as little as things are, like, for the longest time, it was like, "No, we're mowing our own grass." Like, we're doing that. We're gonna save a
Mhm.
dollar to, like,
Yeah,
mow our own grass, and then we started paying someone to do it. I tell my husband all the time, I'm like, "That is worth every cent to have
yeah,
somebody else do," and that's what it's like money becomes like, not this object to get, it's like you want the time back, and it's like we
right,
spent hours and hours and hours, doing that, and it's just like that's where the efficiency comes. It's like, Great, I got that time back
right,
in a sense because I'm no longer doing it, so how am I going to now create more?"
right,
The capacity grows there.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I think it's just it's the mindset of, "Okay, I'm not gonna cut my own grass,"
Mhm.
or the thing that I mean, it's my biggest pet peeve, but people will talk like, everybody in our firm does well, or
Mhm.
everybody that's around us, like, does fairly well. So people will be like, "I wanna do this thing, I wanna do this thing, I wanna do this thing."
Oh, yeah.
Like, at a certain point,
Just do it.
yeah, if you keep talking about
Just
it,
do
like,
it.
just do it.
Yep.
Like, I don't wanna hear about it. You have the money, you're not doing it.
Yeah.
And that's the big push for 2026 is go get the thing that you've been talking about. Go
Mhm.
on the trip that you've wanted to go on. Go
Yeah.
do the thing. Don't talk about it because we don't know if you're gonna be able to do it, or we
Yeah.
don't know if the people that you wanna do it with are gonna be there,
Yep.
or whatever the situation is. So, it's gotta be not in a frivolous way or not in an irresponsible way,
Yep.
but in a very planned out and sincere way of
Take
just
the trips,
yeah,
make the
do
memories,
the
you like
stuff.
yeah.
And I mean, we've just kind of come off of Christmas, so there were things that throughout the year people have said that they wanted, and if they didn't get it,
Mhm.
like, I just got it. I'm like, "It's just done."
Mhm.
Like, people are just getting this as their gifts
Yeah.
because it's like, I'm just done
Yes.
people being like, "Oh, I wanna do this," or "I wanna get
Yeah.
this." It's like, "Okay, now you just have it," but now, like, you're not doing it anymore. Like,
Yes.
now you do it yourself.
Mhm.
So that I think opens up the abundance mentality
Yeah.
too of just being able to show our team that, "Hey, we can help you guys do this,
Yeah.
but go do it yourself." Like, you have the ability to do it, you're just scared to do it.
Yeah.
If we do it for them too many times, then they will just become dependent.
Right, no.
So,
It's ownership, it's action,
yeah,
like, you can talk all day long about this, that, and the other, and it's like, "Oh, those sound so, like, catchy." Like, that concept is great,
right.
but it's like, you must take action, like,
Yeah,
you have to get out. And I think that was part of the conversation was, like, the ownership aspect of it is, like,
yeah,
taking ownership and having a stake in it and,
mhm,
like, not being capped and saying, "My my capacity has grown, my confidence has grown.
right,
I know how to talk to clients. I know what to do. It's just do it.
right.
Like, go out and do it."
Yeah. And I think it's very different. It's not that you're now coming in and paying for staff and doing all of this. It's just
Right.
now you're being responsible for
Mhm.
bringing in business and getting a larger share of the business
Yeah.
brought in. Our team is still covering
Yep.
the cost
Cost
of
of
everything.
admin.
So
Yeah.
so when people come in, and I'm kind of saying this for prospective advisors,
Mhm.
find a place where like they're gonna take care of you to some
Correct.
extent.
Yes. Yes.
Getting started is tough. So be in an environment that's like an incubation chamber
Mhm.
where they can teach you and mentor you and show you
Yeah.
the way to do this properly and give
Our
you
firm is really great about that.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
really good at providing an education. I think that there's a couple places that will pay people to go there, but not provide the education.
Mhm.
Our whole thing is I want people to come in and treat this like they're getting a graduate degree.
Yeah. Yep.
Invest a couple years of time
I got a doctorate so
into
far.
us, learn from people that are very, very highly skilled in
Mhm.
this. And whenever they get out, they're going to make a substantial amount of money. They'll make a good amount of money while they're learning,
Yeah.
but whenever they come out, they will be in the top quartile of
Mhm.
advisors in the country, if not higher, and be earning a substantial amount of income.
Yeah.
But you have to invest the time. I mean, think about medical school. You're giving
Yep.
hundreds of thousands of dollars to learn to then become a doctor and dig yourself out of debt. There, you're giving time and money. Here, you're just giving time.
Mhm.
And I would argue that our top advisors make far more
And doctors.
than
Yeah.
than
Yep.
the average. I mean, some of the top doctors.
Yeah.
So it's a mindset of
Mhm.
do you wanna own it? Do you wanna work for it? Do you wanna grind?
Yeah.
It's hours at the
Mhm.
beginning. I mean, it's a substantial amount of time invested into building
Yeah.
this, but then you get to the point when you're our age and you can kind of reset and
Mhm.
say, "Okay, I wanna spend more time with my family. I wanna spend more time outside of the
Yeah.
office, and I still wanna take care of my clients, but there's a team of 30 plus people that
Mhm.
can handle it if I do go on a trip for a couple days. I don't have to feel guilty leaving between Christmas and New Year's because my friends are coming in town."
Yeah. I think for me too, is understanding that are we are ultimately responsible for our own things. Like and I keep going back to the ownership because I think for a long time that was something that I
Yeah,
like I didn't necessarily take hold of, but in the beginning it was like learning
right, yeah,
what this looked like. And also, I mean, a big part of it was like mindsets that I had picked up from childhood. Like, I mean, one of the big ones, especially in this industry, is like fear of rejection. That was a big one for me.
oh,
Like, I
yeah,
did not want to be like rejected. Like, I was like, oh gosh, don't tell me no. And it's
yeah,
like, you don't know how many, and what's the saying? Like, if you knew everything you wanted was on the other side of no's, how quickly would you get those 7 no's?
right,
Like,
yeah,
you would make it happen. I'd be like, "You need to tell me
right,
no. Like, please
right,
tell me no.
right,
Like,
right,
I need to get to the next no."
right,
So I think that's a huge shift where I was like, they're not and it's everybody is in such a different state. So what they're saying no to isn't like I was like offended, like they're
yeah,
saying no to me, and I'm like, "Nope, they're not."
and I think even through growth, like, the longer you're in this, it's just you're comfortable with who you are,
Yeah.
so
Yep.
regardless of what you're putting out there, you're just comfortable
Mhm.
saying it, so it's like, if somebody says no, it's like, "Okay."
Great.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
like, there's a zillion other
Mhm.
people, so I don't need
Yeah.
every single person to say yes, like we said, we're looking for 30
Yeah.
families,
Yes.
like,
Yeah.
we gotta get hundreds of millions of no's to be, like, out of our 30 yeses this
Uh-huh.
year, and typically, our success rate is pretty good. We
Yeah.
don't go through the process with somebody and then at the last minute have them be like, "No, I don't think this is for me." Like,
Mhm.
people are pretty serious about meeting with us and doing things like that.
But I think too, if we're in, kinda going back, like, this was a big, like, the evolution of Erin. But it's like I've always had faith.
Yeah,
Like, that's always been a big part of who I am, but it took even, many years for me to really push aside all of the, like, societal, "This is what you should be. This is what you should be
right,
doing.
yeah,
These are the things that make sense," and it's like, no, like you said, is, like, the identity piece of it is, like, really truly knowing who I am,
yeah,
who I was created to be, who I was created to become, and that has drastically changed. Drastically. I mean, I was talking to family members and they're like, "You just seem so different." And I'm like, I used to be so like I needed people to tell me like, you're doing so good, like
right,
pat you on the back, like
yeah,
all these things. Then I'm like, as long as I know that I'm obedient to where I'm being called, that's what gives me like more drive to be like,
right,
okay, this is who I am. This is where I'm being called to. These are the people I'm being called to impact. Like to me, that's alignment. And it's like I think in the last few years, like our practice had grown and grown and grown and grown,
yeah,
and it was like just aspects of the job was like, I don't really want to do that.
yeah,
And I
like,
think it was
we grew very fast, and scaling even though we scaled, I think, efficiently, it
Mhm.
wasn't optimally.
Yeah. Yep.
So, it was something that just this year we had time to
Mhm.
adjust, and even though it was our best year ever, we still had a lot of time to really put into building it for
Yep.
next year,
Yep.
and I think that that's gonna pay giant dividends for
Yeah.
us because we
Yeah.
have so many people that are fully bought into what we're doing, we have so many people that have seen the success for now
Mhm.
several years, and it's a good environment of people that just really care about each other,
Yeah. Yep.
and I think that that's important, kind of you talking about kind of the outside of you needed the validation of
Mhm.
almost strangers to say like, "Hey,
Yeah.
you're doing great." Like, I tell my clients all the time, there are like, strangers don't care about them.
Yeah.
If their financial house is in order, or if they're like, if their spouse dies, like, is their neighbor coming over and,
Mhm.
like, paying their bills? People might really care about you, but,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what does that mean in terms of stepping up and
Mhm.
helping? Their family and their friends and us are the only ones that can, like, help
Right.
actually
Yep.
fix their problem. So the outside validation, and again, we live
Mhm.
in a world of social media. So
Yep.
like, I love it when people say nice things about me, and some people trash me, and I'm like, it's all right.
Here we
But
go. You open yourself up to a can of worms.
yeah,
Put
so
yourself out there. It's like you
but
better be good in identity.
but that's the type of thing where it's great when people say great stuff,
Yeah.
and it's sucks when people say bad stuff. But
Yeah.
like most of the time, like I mean, all the time, it's like I don't know who these people are.
They're right. Right.
So it's just it is what it is.
Mhm.
Now, whenever friends or people come in and they're
Mhm.
like, "Hey, you should try this," it's like I take that
Right.
criticism.
Right.
Or when people are like, "Hey, this was really good," like that's helpful.
Yeah.
But there are a ton of strangers that just want either to push you up because they're good people,
Mhm.
and there's a lot of people that just want to knock you down.
Oh, yeah.
People do not like to see
Keyboard warriors.
right. So we enjoy this. We're trying to put out a substantial amount of good
Mhm.
content. We're trying to make this fun because
Yeah.
it isn't the easiest thing.
Right.
And again, in a very short period of time in our own personal world, the
Mhm.
transformation of somebody who was really trying to figure it out to being a person who now has a substantial
Yeah.
net worth, a substantial income, and continuing to build in a young age is stuff that we
I'll take
do
that.
on a
Young
regular
age.
basis. Like it's just that's what we do.
Yep.
So if people are coachable and they listen and they want to do it, it is very doable. It's just you've got to be bought in.
Right. Right. Yep.
So thank you for coming on. I'm sure
Thanks
it
for
won't be the
having
last
me.
time. And we'll see everybody next week.
Thanks.
Registered representative and financial advisor, Park Avenue Securities, LLC, PAS, OSJ 14021, Metropolis Ave, Fort Myers, Florida 33912 239 561 2900. Securities products and advisory services offered through PAS, member FINRA, SIPC. Financial representative of the Guardian Life Insurance Company of America, New York, NY. PAS is a wholly owned subsidiary of Guardian. Alliance Financial Group is not an affiliate or subsidiary of PAS or Guardian. CA insurance license number 0M21715. AR insurance license number 158383330. 8719463.1 expires 128.